Hi, my name is Angus Gregg. I'm the writer and director of One Puzzle Piece Out of Many. And what you will be listening to is essentially the story of my life. When did you find out that I had high functioning autism, and how exactly did you react?
Well, when it was initially suggested to me, I didn't react very well and I resisted it. I denied it.
I felt nervous and scared because I didn't know anything about autism.
I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. I have high functioning autism, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I have locked it away many times during 6th grade, and I've always censored it, and I've never understood it.
Autism is tough a little bit because it's so unique with every individual. So every child or person or adult on the spectrum is going to be a completely different version of that. So it's not like a common disorder where you could just put everybody in the same box.
And what makes us different from everyday people is that we are a lot more sensitive.
You were clearly expressive in terms of being when you got frustrated. You kind of had a short fuse, so...
What the fuck is that bass? No, this is bullshit. I got mad for the most basic stuff.
We were very careful to make sure that your environment was consistent. That seemed to matter a lot.
I hated trying new foods. I hated trying new places. I hated trying new things. I've always wanted a very consistent life. But you're not going to get that. You're not going to get consistency in the world. And as a matter of fact, it's nothing but inconsistencies.
Sometimes it was hard for you to put your words together to express yourself. So I think that was a lot of times, why you would get frustrated, because it was hard for you just to express your thoughts. But you liked going to school, and you did have friends, a core group of friends, and it was okay. It was easy. You were happy coming and going.
And now I'm ready to go off to Raymond Cree, because I've got no other options, apparently. What were things like during the Raymond Cree days, and what was I like in comparison to Finchie?
Well, you definitely changed.
A complete disaster.
Days were terrible. They sucked. Every single negative adjective in the book. It was garbage.
Something as simple as kicking the ball in a wrong direction and you were yelled at.
And this was almost every single day. Every single day.
I didn't really understand or know just how unhappy you were completely, because you really just were a trooper. You went to school every day, you put your backpack on and you went in there. But you were definitely, you weren't performing academically the way I know you could, and the way you know you could, and you got really comfortable with that. You got comfortable getting an F.
I felt very helpless, And I knew that you were isolated to a degree that you were always a little isolated, but not to that degree.
Sundays were the worst day of the week because you would wake up and go,
Oh no, one more day before I have to go back to that hellhole.
but then it's Monday morning and you would get up and with a brave face you went in there.
And they really didn't want to hear from us, is how it felt like. So it was just a complete nightmare, and we didn't know what to do. What could we do? We were going to move you out of that school, but to where? I don't know. We didn't know. It was terrible.
That's when my parents found Palm Valley.
It was night and day.
Immediately come up with, the first day you were there and you experienced it just on a shadowing basis, and you came out from the school when I picked you up and you were like, wow, these kids are really nice. I messed up in soccer and nobody got mad at me and yelled at me.
Every day that I picked you up, now it was okay. I couldn't believe it. The first day I picked you up and I said, how was school? And you said, it was fine. And I was like, what? I hadn't heard you say that in so long.
One, there was so few students at Palm Valley. And two, the campus was so big. Like, you didn't have space, literally, space to just walk around and have room to move on the literal side. And figuratively, you had space to be yourself.
And really, one thing I've been doing was fighting with autism. I've just been fighting with it. I've been fighting with myself. I always thought autism was such a big negative, but it really isn't. It's more of just it's something you just have to live with.
People need to understand each other. And once there is a greater level of understanding and knowledge and awareness of each other as a whole, then everyone gets to thrive.
It's been a long road, and that transition really opened my eyes to how different it is involving autism because of the hypersensitivity that us autistic people normally have. The environment was too loud, but a lot of other kids there didn't seem to be that loud, didn't seem to think it was that loud. But I hated it. It was way louder than it needed to be, and kids didn't understand that. I'm human, like everyone else, and I have autism. I have it, and that's my life. Thank you.
My pleasure.
That's it right there.
Okay.
You didn't really have to listen to this. But thank you for listening.